can't see me in no department. Speed, power, chance, heart, nuts.
Alright.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Talking big facts, I ain't tell no lies. Real talk like fight fan. Slap a troll with my right hand. Hit the like button, watch the replay. Want all the smoke like EJ. Fuck a troll, what he say. I bomb a nigga like Wilder, boy. Spray the thing, make shower, boy. Tyson Fury, you a coward, boy. Box a nigga like Ego. Make you bow your head, take one knee like Kell Brook and Tim Tebow. Since the time the lesson been black and eyes like Debo. Like Debo? And I'm a breadwinner like Kevin Gates. Smoke strong, make you levitate. On my evil spins, might meditate. Gon' watch me, you gon' steady hate. But I pimp the game like 7-8. 7-8. And I'm a big stepper like Money Brown. I don't mess around, I don't fuck around. But I fuck around, not wear my crown. Fuck around, not wear my crown. Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts, cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again.
Spitting big facts and I'm cooking again.
There he go talking that boxing again. Trio talk like fight fan. There he go talking that boxing again. This trio talk like fight fan. There he go talking that boxing again. Trio talk like fight fan. There he go talking that boxing again. There he go talking that boxing again. There he go talking that boxing again.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Yeah. What's good with it? My man Smooth Groove Boxing off in that super chat, always showing love and support. He say no words needed. Man, I appreciate you. Always showing love. My man Matthew Valentine, what's good with it? He said this is top ranked paid old media. Right. Be that bitch off in the building. What's going on with you, Queen? Macadocious Mac of the South. What's happening with it, homie? Terrell Sandifer. What's happening with it? Phil J 508. Mike Ron. He says he definitely should. My money on Lopez until I see until I see Haney tested. I'll see that this weekend. Veteran against veteran Linares. Yeah. Big Tony, what's happening? Daryl Deloach, Stan Swoosh, what's happening with it? Yeah. What it do? Yeah, we got a lot to cook on. Y'all. And when you come in the building, make sure that y'all smash on the like button as you come in. Smash on that like button. Robert Pitt said he ain't gonna do shit but act like he tried to make the fight happen and then fight somebody else top ranked shit. Man, and like I said, we gonna get into it, man. We gonna talk about it. Man. Shakur Stevenson just ran up on your boy Jamel Herring. You know, Shakur Stevenson, he letting it be known that he really want that smoke with Jamel Herring, and he ain't playing with him. You know what I'm saying? He letting it be known that he not playing with him, and he really want that smoke for real. And that Shakur Stevenson and Jamel Herring fight, man, I want to see that shit. I want to see it because Jamel Herring, he kind of trying to laugh it off, but Shakur Stevenson was like, you know, hey, you laughing it off like we cool and everything funny, you know what I'm saying? Everything just all gravy. He like, yeah, we cool, but I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass, and I'm serious about that. You know what I'm saying? He like, we cool, but I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass, and I want everybody to know that I'm gonna beat your ass. I want to see that shit. Do y'all think that do y'all think that Shakur Stevenson is gonna be able to secure that fight with Jamel Herring, or do you think Jamel Herring gonna skip over Shakur Stevenson? Because Shakur, he's pressing Jamel Herring right now, because I think that Shakur Stevenson see that Jamel Herring might try to get his way, try to find his way out of this fight. So now what Shakur doing is he letting Jamel Herring know, like, look, I'm not playing with you, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can laugh it off like we cool and it's funny, but I'm really gonna beat your ass. And he was up in his face telling them, like, yeah, you could laugh it off, but I'm really gonna beat your motherfucking ass. And I want everybody to know that I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass. Nah, Stan Switch, I didn't say it was Haney bluffing. That you gotta reread that. That's not what I said. I said it was Teofimo Lopez bluffing. But like I said, we gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. Robert Pitt says, I think it can happen because it's all top rank and Stevenson got a great star potential. They need to make that happen. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to make that happen. EJ, J King, what's happening? Matthew Valentine says Jamel Herring, excuse me. He said Jamel Herring already let the WBO know that he ready to fight Shakur. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing though, right? And I'm not saying that he's not gonna fight Shakur. All I'm saying is that a lot of these fighters say a lot of shit, and then behind closed doors, they do a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? Behind closed doors, they do a whole different thing. So don't be surprised if he try to swindle his way out of the Shakur Stevenson fight. I won't be surprised if he try to swindle his way out of the Shakur Stevenson fight. And for Bob Arum will let it happen because we've seen that he don't treat Shakur Stevenson like he should. You know what I'm saying? He don't promote Shakur Stevenson like he should. He is getting Shakur Stevenson fights. They ain't the best fights, but he keeping them active, but he ain't promoting them like he should because Shakur Stevenson is the best fighter that Top Rank got on their roster. Real talk. Shakur Stevenson is the best fighter that Top Rank got on their roster. Period. Point blank. Now, the reason I'm saying that Bob Arum will let Jamel Herring slide around Shakur Stevenson if it's possible, and I'm not saying Jamel Herring is going to try to, but I'm saying if he does, Bob Arum will be cool with it just as long as he fights his other fighter, and that other fighter is Valdez, right? Because Bob Arum, he's looking at the situation like Valdez, he got a bigger fan base than Shakur Stevenson. That's how he's looking at it. Bob Arum, he's trying to get all the money he can off of, you know what I'm saying, whoever going to bring the most numbers in right now. Now, Shakur Stevenson, yeah, he's a better fighter than all of them, hands down. You can't tell me that he ain't. You dig what I'm saying? He way better than Valdez, better than Jamel Herring, better than all of them. But he looking at Shakur Stevenson as a long-term investment. Like, oh, yeah, well, I'll get to Shakur later. But right now, you know what I'm saying? Right now, I'm going to do the best for Valdez and because he got a Mexican fan base, because he know Valdez ain't going to be able to hold that belt too long. Because soon as Valdez have to face Shakur Stevenson, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Top Rank, Bob Arum, he going to try to keep the money all in the family right there as long as he can before he have to, you know what I'm saying, pass over that crown to Shakur. Because the first time Shakur Stevenson fight one of them dudes, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter how many Mexican fans you got there, it's a wrap. Robert Pitt says, I think it happens because I read that one already. Mr. Shelton, what's happening with it? Off in the building. Knockout Boxing 86 TV, what's happening with it? Knockout. Mike Rhymes says it's not like Jamel is trying to fight a bum. He's trying to fight another champion. So that chump, that Shakur stuff, He says, so that chumps that Shakur stuff. Fight him after he gets another belt. But see, nuh-uh. Because see, this is the thing, right? Shakur Stevenson already had been waiting. It's no, I'll go around Shakur and fight the other champ, you know what I'm saying, and then get back to Shakur. Nah, it's not gonna happen like that. Nah, fuck that. You give me my shot because I've been waiting. You do what you're supposed to do. If you can beat me, then you move around me. That's not how it works. It don't work like that. If you can beat me, you move around me. You just don't fucking move around me just because it's another champion there when you already know what's supposed to be going down. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. Real talk. You can't do that. I mean, you can do that, but it ain't right. So if you really want to let your nuts hang and do what's right, do that. You feel me? Do that. Don't try to skip around the man. I don't like all of that. And we shouldn't be making excuses for him to be able to skip around Shakur Stevenson. When we know that Shakur Stevenson been waiting a long time. He knew that like I said last time, he knew that if he came out with the victory against Frampton, that Shakur Stevenson was his next opponent. All of a sudden that changes? Like, come on now. Valdez was already the champion at that time. So he knew beforehand that if Shakur Stevenson, that if he beat Frampton, that Shakur Stevenson was next. Ain't no skipping around that. Knockout Boxing 86 TV says, yeah, exactly. It's in writing that Heron is supposed to fight Shakur Stevenson. Period. You shouldn't be able to skip around that. Now, I understand if it's, when sometimes when it's a mandatory that ain't nobody fucking heard of, and you like all of a sudden this dude then fucking moved up the ranks, ain't fought nobody that we know, and he just all of a sudden a mandatory. Well, yeah, then skip around him. But not nobody like Shakur Stevenson, which is a big name also, which is arguably, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, is the best fighter at the 130-pound division by far. So, nah, man. Valentine says, bro, Canelo's silk the protected non-black fighters for it regular. Man, Matthew, we is not talking about Canelo right now. This don't have nothing to do with Canelo. We're talking about Shakur Stevenson and Jamel Herring. But yeah, man. But so once again, Shakur Stevenson ran up on Jamel Herring and he let him know, like, hey, I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass. You can laugh all you want to, you can think it's a joke, and he let him know, like, this man think I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we cordial and everything. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no fists gonna start flying right here or nothing. But when we get in that ring, I want you to know that I'm coming after you. I want that belt and I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass. It ain't no friends. You know what I'm saying? Just because we train, in the same gym and all of that, it ain't no friends, right? Because I'm coming after you and I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. William Sebastian say Heron will probably make more money with Valdez, and either of them could be his last fight. Nah, so this is the thing, right? You do what you're supposed to do. You do what you were supposed to do right beforehand. You do what they already had set in plan. You knew this man was waiting, right? So you let your nuts hang. You fight Shakur Stevenson, right? If you beat Shakur Stevenson, you get a lot of money in the Shakur Stevenson fight, and then you move on to the Valdez fight, and you get way more money than you was going to get if you had skipped over Shakur Stevenson and fought Valdez. Because now, right, people are looking at you as the best fighter at 130, right? Now you got the two best fighters, and now that's damn near a mega fight. But see, you don't do that if you're not confident in beating Shakur Stevenson, because you know that if Shakur Stevenson beats you, then, yeah, you get the payday or whatever you get with the Shakur Stevenson fight, but then you leave the payday on the motherfucking table with the Valdez fight. So, if you do that, if you skip over Shakur, you're just showing to me that you're not confident that you can beat him, because you say that you can beat him. You say that you're not afraid of Shakur Stevenson. Well, if you can beat Shakur, if you're not afraid of him, well, it's simple. Fight him, knock him off, and then go make a fight with Valdez, if Valdez is still the champion at that point in time. Mike Rhyme, how can Shakur fight Gary Russell? Right? They understand that, first of all, Gary Russell has to move up. Second of all, do you think that Bob Arum is going to make a fight with Gary Russell? Let's keep it 100. Do you think that? How is that going to be made? How is Gary Russell and Shakur Stevenson going to fight when Gary Russell is under Al Haymon? First of all, Al Haymon do a lot of great things in the sport. Al Haymon don't do shit great for Gary Russell. When was the last time Al Haymon got Gary Russell a big fight? So with that being said, how do you think that Al Haymon is going to negotiate with Bob Arum to make a fight between Gary Russell and Shakur Stevenson? It sounds good, but let's keep it 100 and let's keep it real. Is that fight even remotely possible in making happen? No, it's not. Al Haymon is not finna work with, Al Haymon is not finna go out of his way to do shit for Gary Russell because we see that already. And Bob Arum is not finna make no fight for Shakur Stevenson when Bob Arum, right? Their thing is to keep it all in-house, right? The only time Bob Arum goes out of the house, right? Goes outdoors to make a fight with somebody across the with his neighbors across the fucking other block is when he just don't have no choice but to do that. In this case, he got a lot of choices. He not finna make no fight between Shakur Stevenson and Gary Russell. It don't matter how much Gary Russell yelled to the top of his lungs, right? It don't matter how much Shakur Stevenson said it. That fight is not gonna happen. That ain't even possible. That's like that's not even possible. William Sebastian said, we all know that Herring ain't winning that fight, so he'll go for the most money. I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Valentine says, why did they order this interim fight for Shakur? Herring versus Shakur should have been immediate because Shakur was sitting on the shelf, right? And he was sitting on the shelf waiting because we know that this fight kept getting pushed back, right? So it was supposed to be Shakur fighting the winner of Herring and Frampton, right? But the fight kept getting pushed back, Matthew. So what happened is Shakur was having to sit on the shelf and sit. So instead of having Shakur sit on the shelf, they gave him a fucking fight in between because, quite frankly, Herring ain't going to be ready in June. You know what I'm saying? Herring wouldn't be ready to fight Shakur Stevenson when he just came off a fight with Frampton. Because now you got to be able to promote the fight. You got to give Herring time to rest. Then you got to give him time to get back in training camp. So, you know, they just want to give Shakur Stevenson a fight in between. You know, it makes sense, but keep Shakur, basically keep him busy. But he fighting another guy. Shakur Stevenson fighting, I think the dude is undefeated or he, let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Shakur Stevenson is fighting Jeremiah Nakatali, and he 21-1. So the dude that Shakur's fighting is 21-1 right now. Let me see. Let me check him out. Let me see who he didn't fought though. Emmanuel Amos. Let me see if this dude didn't fought anybody. Cause y'all know I'm a resume dude. So dude record, he got a good record of 21-1, but he got 17 knockouts. He 21-1 with 17 knockouts, but he ain't fought no fucking body. Dude ain't fought nobody. So Shakur Stevenson next opponent, Shakur Stevenson finna walk right through him. He finna put a boxing lesson on this dude. This dude ain't never fought nobody. He ain't fought nobody. He's a Nambia. He's from Nambia. So he's from the same place that What's the dude that Crawford won his fucking undisputed from at 140? Man, what's it? Ndongo. He from the same. He from where Ndongo is from. But yeah, he ain't fought nobody. So yeah, it's another dude that, you know, basically just keep a stay busy fight for Shakur Stevenson, like I said. But I don't know, man. I'm looking to see what happens. We're gonna have to wait because Shakur Stevenson, he got a fight coming up in a couple weeks on the 12th of June. And then after that, we really gonna see if Jamel Herring is gonna, you know, honor that fight or not. We really gonna see, you know, because Jamel Herring and Valdez it's cool. I don't know, man. Jamel Herring has a lot better chance of beating Valdez than he do Shakur Stevenson. I'll tell you that. Jamel Herring and Valdez, I don't know, man. I have to see. I got to see how that fight is because Jamel Herring looked good in his last fight. He showed that he had great ring IQ, and he showed when he sticks to the game plan and stay on the outside that he's dangerous, and he shows that he has respectable power. Could he keep Oscar Valdez on the outside and, you know, be smart and box and outbox Oscar Valdez? Because in past fights, we've seen Oscar Valdez not look too good. We've seen Oscar Valdez get hit a lot, but Oscar Valdez is tough. So when the going get tough and the fight get down to the fucking nitty gritty, can Jamel Herring, you know what I'm saying, get in there and bang it out with Oscar Valdez if that's what it come down to? I don't know. If Jamel Herring as tough as Oscar Valdez? I don't know, man. Mox G says it looked like Bob got Shakur on the same path as Bud. Right. And we're going to really get to see this after this fucking next fight that Shakur Stevenson have. After this next fight that Shakur Stevenson have, if if they don't get Shakur Stevenson a big fight, after this next fight, if they don't give Shakur Stevenson a big fight, we know what it is. We know that he's on the same path as fucking Bud Crawford. We know that. So Shakur Stevenson needs to get the fuck up out of Top Rank as fast as he can. If he don't get a big fight after this next fight, Shakur Stevenson needs to run as fast as he can away from Top Rank. Herring is a Marine. He ain't gonna duck the Brick City smoke. Man, yeah, Herring is a Marine, but that don't mean nothing when it comes to boxing, dog. This is boxing. Boxing, this is money involved, all of that shit. You feel me? We can use that Marine stuff all you want to, but at the end of the day, that shit don't translate to boxing. Robert Pitt says, shout out to you, bro, for seeing Aaron formula for what it is being. Biggest problem in boxing. Man, he about that bread, man. He about what he's about. Who's gonna make him the most money, right? Without him having to fucking dish out the most money, period. Bob Arum is strictly a motherfucking cold businessman. That's just what it is. That's just what it is, man. But man, in other news, man, other news. Let me see. Hold on, y'all, real quick. Let me pull this up. Let's talk about these motherfucking pound for pound rankings, right? I'm going to get straight to it, man. Let's talk about these new pound for pound rankings. So ESPN and Ring Magazine came out with their new pound for pound rankings, right? And this is their new pound for pound rankings. I'm going to put it up, see if y'all can see it on the screen. Hold on, y'all. Hold on real quick. Wipe this phone off. These motherfucking fingerprints off this phone so y'all can see it clear. This shit is like, to me, I'm like, is this a motherfucking joke? Like, this shit crazy. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it. I'm putting it up right now. All right, here we go. So, see if y'all can see this shit. Damn. All right. Can y'all see that? Let me know if y'all can see this. This the new pound for pound rankings. The top is ESPN. The bottom is Ring Magazine. Now, okay, well, I'm gonna read it off, right? So ESPN, they got Canelo Alvarez number 1. They got Terrence Crawford ranked number 2. This is ESPN's, right? They got Terrence Crawford ranked number 2. They got Inouye ranked number 3. They got Errol Spence ranked number 4. They got Teofimo ranked number 5. They got Tyson Fury ranked number 6. They got Josh Taylor ranked number 7. They got Alexander Usyk ranked number 8. They got Vasyl Lomachenko ranked number 9. And they got Juan Estrada ranked number 10. Okay. They don't have no Jermell Charlo in here at all. Hold on. And then we go to the Ring Magazine. This is the Ring Magazine rankings, right? They got Canelo ranked number 1. They got Inouye ranked number 2. Terrence Crawford ranked number 3. Alexander Usyk ranked number 4. Josh Taylor ranked number 5. They got Errol Spence way down at 6. They got Teofimo Lopez at 7. They got Juan Estrada at 8. Vasyl Lomachenko at 9. And Kazuto Loka, I don't even know who the fuck that is, at number 10. No Jermell Charlo. So nobody got Jermell Charlo in their fucking top 10 pound for pound rankings. Now, one thing that everybody pretty much agree, they all got Canelo at number 1. I don't have no problem with that, right? They all got fucking Terrence Crawford at number 2 or 3, right? Now, Terrence Crawford, hell of a fighter. But what has he done lately to be the number 2 pound for pound fighter? How long can you hold on to a position when you haven't fought a top opponent? I don't understand that, right? Then you got, let me see, Inouye. They got Inouye on both lists. They got him number 2 or 3. Who has Inouye fought that's better than, let me see, hold on. Let me pull up Inouye's record because to me, it's like, man, Inouye's good, but man, who has he fought though? Has he fought? Hold on, let me see. Pull up his. So Inouye's 20 and over 17 KOs. Hey, he fought Jason Maloney. Dude is Jason Maloney. He cool. He all right. He ain't that, you know what I'm saying? He ain't all that. He fought Nonito Donaire that already got 5 L's. He fought Emmanuel Rodriguez. That dude is 19 and 2 now, right? He fought Juan Carlos Payano that got 5 L's on his record now, right? He fought Jamie McDonald. I don't know who that is. Jamie McDonald now has 3 losses on his record. He fought Jan Box. I don't know who that is. That dude, he got 6 losses on his record. Next opponent got, man, all these dudes got a gang of losses on their record. All these dudes that Inouye fought and beat, they have a lot of L's on their record if you go to their box rec. So I'm saying, like, how can you have Inouye number 2 or number 3 way ahead of everybody? Like, what the fuck is going on? Because most of them dudes that Inouye fought, we don't know who they are like that. And then when you go check their background, like I just did, all these motherfuckers got a whole bunch of losses on their record. So how is Inouye ahead of Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence? How? How is he ahead of Jermell Charlo? How is Inui ahead of fucking Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor? That's what I really want to know. Why is like he's good, right? But when you go look at the fighters that he fought, right? Why is he so high on the pound for pound list? Because Gervonta Tank Davis, if you look at Inui's right resume and the people that he's fought, and you look at Gervonta Tank Davis' resume and the people that he's fought, because if you want to say, well, Inui's knocking out everybody, the motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, he got all these knockouts, and Gervonta Tank Davis's knockout ratio is higher than Inui's, and Gervonta Tank Davis is fighting pretty much the same level of competition that Inui's fighting. So if you got Inui that high on your pound for pound list, why isn't Gervonta Tank Davis on the pound for pound list then? If that's how we gonna play it, right? If that's how we playing it, why isn't Gervonta? Because if you want to say, well, Inui is knocking them motherfuckers, like he getting spectacular, he's knocking out everybody. Well, Gervonta Tank Davis is knocking out everybody, right? And then also, let me pull this back up, right? Let me pull it back up. Hold on. You got Tyson Fury, right? They got Tyson Fury on the pound for pound list at number 6. You have no Jermell Charlo, but you have Tyson Fury on your pound for pound list at number 6. I thought pound for pound was supposed to be, I thought heavyweights weren't supposed to be on the pound for pound list the last time I checked, because I thought pound for pound meant that if you were at any weight, like the smaller, if you could go all the way up to heavyweight, what can you do? Like if pound for pound, if you know what I'm saying, at any weight class, what can you do? Tyson Fury's skill set that he has could not go down to any fucking weight class and be the best in that weight class. That is some bullshit. How do they have Tyson Fury pound for pound number 6, right? And then they got Alexander Usyk, right? Ring Magazine got Alexander Usyk number 4 on the pound for pound list, when Alexander Usyk showed that he's not a pound for pound fighter. The motherfucker moved up to heavyweight and is struggling against goddamn journeymen. He moved up to heavyweight and is struggling against journeymen, but he's number 4 on your pound for pound list, Alexander Usyk. So he's number 4 on Ring Magazine pound for pound list, and he's number 8 on Top Rank. So, and it's just like I said for Terrence Crawford. What has Alexander Usyk done lately? Yeah, he fought some stiff competition at cruiserweight, but most dudes don't know who the fuck them cruiserweights is. And let's keep it real. The cruiserweight division ain't really hitting like that. It's very few killers at the cruiserweight division. That's why they made a whole nother fucking weight division now, and it's called the bruiserweight division, because wasn't nobody fucking with the cruiserweight division. Let's just keep it 100. We saw Alexander Usyk move up to heavyweight, and he's struggling with journeyman. This shit crazy. Like, this shit crazy, man. Like, this some bullshit. And so you can't tell me that boxing ain't fucking biased. Like, how Ring Magazine got Errol Spence at number 6 when he one of the only fighters that's fighting all the top competition. What the fuck is really going on? Like I said, I don't have no problem with both Ring Magazine and ESPN having Canelo at number 1. I don't have no problem with that. But the rest of this shit is some bullshit. This shit crazy. Then you got Juan Estrada in the top 10 and Kazuto Loka in the top 10. What the fuck has Juan Estrada and Kazuto Loka done to be in the top 10? And hold on, let me see something real quick. Let me look at something real quick. I could have sworn. Hold on, real quick. Look at something real quick, man. Let me see. Yeah, Juan Estrada just fought fucking Roman Gonzalez, and fucking a lot of people think he lost that fight. A lot of people think that Juan Estrada lost the fight against Roman Gonzalez. So how the fuck is he on the top 10 pound for pound list when he arguably lost his last fight and then he got 3 L's before that? He already took 3 L's and he arguably lost the last fight that he just had. Hell of a fight. You know what I'm saying? Hell of a fight. But how is he on your... See, this is some bullshit. This whole pound for pound list is a fucking joke. This shit crazy. Knockout Boxing 86 TV says that the same Juan Estrada that got gifted a decision when Chocolatito smoked his ass. You know what I'm saying, man? The same Monster Inui that damn near got knocked out by Donaire. But yeah, but these dudes is way up there on your pound for pound list. This shit is a fucking joke. 22B says 154 Charlo don't get no praise. It's a joke. Yeah, man. Tank is not on the list. 22B Tank is not on the list. So I have a fucking legitimate argument. If Inui is on the fucking list because he's knocking out cats, right? Why isn't Tank Davis on the fucking list? If you can have Inui at number 2 or number 3 on all y'all lists, why isn't Tank Davis on the list too? Because when you break this shit down and you look at the resumes, they basically got the same level of resume. Inui and Tank Davis got the same level of resume. So if Tank Davis could go to 130 and beat everybody that he faced, and then he went to 135 and now he's going to 140, why the fuck is it? Why ain't he on the pound for pound list, but Inui can be on the pound for pound list? Right? I'm confused. Yeah, Usyk had a good cruiserweight run, but he don't look like shit at heavyweight. Wawa 93-0-2010 say they hate on Al Heyman fighters. This is some bullshit. Arthur Soto say Tank need to be recognized. This some bullshit, man. And to me, I'm not saying that Tank is the top 10 pound for pound. I don't know. I don't have no top 10 pound for pound. I broke down my top 5 pound for pound, but as far as top 10, I never really looked at it. So I don't even know if Tank Davis would be on my top 10 pound for pound once I break it down. I don't know. I'm not saying he won't. I'm not saying he will. But all I'm saying is if you got motherfuckers like Tyson Fury and Inui and Alexander Usyk in the pound for pound top 10, how come Tank Davis is not even on your pound for pound list? You see what I'm saying? You got Juan Estrada. Ain't no fucking way that Juan Estrada is the caliber fighter of Tank Davis. Juan Estrada couldn't fucking carry Tank Davis' jockstrap. But you telling me that, and then this other dude that they got on the pound for pound list, I never even heard of this motherfucker. Who is this dude? Me pulling back up. Kazuru Loka. This from Japan. Let me pull him up. Kazuru Loka. Hold on. Dude got 2 L's on his record already. He's 26 wins with 2 losses. Kazuru Loka got 26 wins and 2 losses, but they got him on the pound for pound list and don't have Jermell Charlo, don't have Gervonta Tank Davis. What's really going on? What the fuck is really going on, right? And these pound for pound lists are supposed to be credible. This is what we going off of in boxing. This is what the casual fans pull up, and when they want to see what the pound for pound, who the best fighters in boxing are, this is what they're going to see. See, we know better. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm a casual fan and I pull this up and I want to see, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is the heavy hitters in boxing? I want to see this shit. And I pull up this list. This is what I got to go off of. This shit is all smoke and mirrors. They put on there who they want to put on there. This shit has no credibility at all. Don't have no credibility at all. This shit crazy. Drive Away Cleaner says, bro, what exciting fight has Tank had? What are you talking about? All Tank's fights is exciting. He going in there doing the same thing that Inouye's doing against the same level competition, knocking motherfuckers clean out, straight up, knocking out everybody. That's what he's doing. So give me a reason why Inouye should be number 2 or number 3 on all of their pound for pound lists, and Tank Davis is not on the pound for pound list. Give me one reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you mean? What exciting fight has Tank had? All of his fights is exciting. That's why we fucking watch him. We ain't watching him for the competition that he fighting. We watching him because he's exciting. All of his fights are exciting. He's giving you excitement every time he step in the ring because he's knocking motherfuckers clean out. What you mean? What exciting fight has he had? Did you just start watching boxing, Drive Away Cleaner? What you talking about? This shit crazy, man. This is nuts right here. And this shows you, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody asked me, is boxing racist and biased? And this speaks for everything. This speaks for everything. Sheldon Holmes, what's happening with it? Big Money, Texas, Toledo, what's happening with it? Yeah, Bumpy Thompson, he say he's not pay-per-view for no reason. Yeah, man, ain't on pay-per-view for no reason. Motherfucker excited. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, if you look at both of their resumes, right? Tank Davis got more fights, got more knockouts. He has a higher knockout percentage than Inouye does, right? So if that's your argument, well, Inouye knocks out everybody, you know, pretty much everybody he get in the ring. Well, Tank Davis knock out more. Let me see. Inouye, let me see. Let me pull up Inouye's record again. Come on. Damn phone acting up. Hell wrong with this damn phone. Hold on. Okay. So Inouye is 20-0 with 17 KOs. But Tank Davis is like 27-0 with 26 KOs or 26-0 with 25 KOs, one of the two. Tank Davis got a much higher KO percentage. So, and like I said, when you pull up the box rec, when you pull up the record, the competition that they fighting is the same level of competition. You can even argue that Tank Davis is fighting a better level of competition than Inouye. You can even make that argument. Yeah, and then you got Kazuto Ioka. Most motherfuckers in here ain't never heard of him. I'm not finna lie to y'all. I don't know who the fuck that is, but I looked at his box rec, and he got like what? I think he like 23, and I think he already lost 2 fights already. But he's on the pound for pound list. What the fuck is that at? What the fuck going on? Batman, I don't know, man. I don't know. But what's good with it, Batman off in the building? Jack Ashford said Inouye does have more title defenses, but against world competition. That's world. I mean, it depends what you call world competition. You feel me? Because like I said, I just pulled up everybody on his box rec, and I'll go down the list for you, right? He fought Jason Maloney last time. I think pretty much everybody know who Jason Maloney is. Top ranked fighter. He all right. You know what I'm saying? Jason Maloney is cool. He ain't nothing special. You know what I'm saying? Then he fought Nonito Donaire. We know that Nonito Donaire is not the same Nonito Donaire in his prime. Nonito Donaire is almost 39 years old, right? Then he fought Emmanuel Rodriguez. Well, Emmanuel Rodriguez lost to Inouye, and then he lost his fucking very next fight, right? So he got 2 L's on his record. He fought Juan Carlos Payano back in 2018. But since then, Juan Carlos Payano, he got fucking 5 losses on his record and 2 KO, and 2 of them was by stoppage. You know what I'm saying? Before that, he fought Jamie McDonald that got 3 losses on his record, and 1 of them was by stoppage. So, like I said, world-class competition, that's your opinion. You see what I'm saying? Because you also got to look at, you got to see, okay, what the fighter did, what the opponents that he was fighting, what they did before they fought him. See, you got to go do research, because these boxing promoters and matchmakers, they can make shit look like what it really ain't. You see me? But me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and I'm going to do my research and I'm going to get to the nitty gritty. You can't fucking fool me. So I'm going to go and I'm going to research these fighters. I want to see, okay, you fought him. He had a pretty good record when you fought him. But who did he fight before you fought him, right? So if the dude is undefeated, right, when you fought him, if you fought another undefeated fighter, I want to go see who he fought, right? Or if he had a pretty good record, he had 2 losses, I want to see who he fought, right? Then once you beat him, I want to see what he did after you beat him, right? Once he stepped up his competition level, because a lot of these dudes, right? You'd be like, oh, well, he fought such and such was undefeated when he fought him. Okay, well, who the fuck did such and such fight before he fought Inouye, right? And then you go look, and you look down their fucking resume, and then you find out dude was undefeated because he ain't never fought nobody until he fought Inouye, right? He lost to Inouye or whoever the fuck, you know, I'm just making an example. And then he went on to lose fucking after that, because then his competition level stepped up and he started losing after that. So don't let this shit fool you. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at all of that. So when it comes down to it, like I said, if they got Inouye on the pound for pound list, they should have fucking Tank on there too. Because if you look at their fucking resumes, if you look at the level of competition that they fought, they the same level of competition. They both fighting the same level of competition. Belt or fucking no belt, right? And then if you look at the knockout ratio, well, Tank is getting more knockouts than Inouye. His knockout percentage is way higher. He got more fights and he got more knockouts. Tank Davis has only one opponent in his whole career that he didn't knock out, and that was probably like a 6-round fighter, you know. That was early in his career. He didn't knock out everybody else since then. Inouye, he got like three opponents he ain't never knocked out. So you can't tell me that you can put a fucking Inouye number 2 or number 3 on everybody pound for pound list, but you can't have Tank Davis on there? Because I know why they putting Inouye on there is just because he fucking knocking out everybody. You know, and his increments that if he moves up and down in weight, he only having to move up and down 2 pounds and shit like that. If Tank Davis move up and down in weight, he having to move fucking 5 and 7 pounds. Big difference. Batman said because he a top-ranked ESPN fighter, he got a country behind him. Well, that's cool, but his country didn't make this pound for pound list. So, like I said, this pound for pound list, this whole pound for pound list is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? How the fuck you got Tyson Fury on the pound for pound list? A heavyweight. How you got Alexander Usyk on the pound for pound list when he moved up to heavyweight and showed you that he's struggling against journeyman, like I said before? Why don't you have Jermell Charlo on the pound for pound list that has moved up in weight? He went from 154. He's at 154, and he damn near he's beat all of the top guys. He finna be undisputed if he could get through Castano, but you don't have him nowhere on your pound for pound list, not even 10. You don't even have Jermell Charlo in the top 10, But you got Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, and fucking Kazutu or who the fuck ever that is. Like, that shit crazy. And then so, man, let me go back to this pound for pound list. So let's talk about Ring Magazine. How does Ring Magazine have fucking Alexander Usyk? So they got Ring Magazine got Canelo number 1, Inoue number 2, Terrence Crawford number 3, Alexander Usyk number 4, Josh Taylor number 5, and Errol Spence at number 6. How they got Errol Spence way down at number 6? How? Who on here besides Canelo Alvarez got a resume that can compare to Errol Spence's? And like I said, man, I'm not too enthused about Terrence Crawford being number 2. Oh, at number 2 or number 3, because it's about, to me, it's about what you've done, right? What have you done in the sport lately? Yeah, Terrence Crawford, he could be the best pound for pound fighter in all of boxing, but we don't know that, and he ain't did shit lately. How long can you hold on to fucking something when you just basically sitting around fighting easy competition? Jack Ashford said he don't know why I knew he's getting more credit than he really deserves. He's not a very marketable fighter. He's not a very marketable fighter. I wouldn't say that he ain't marketable because we can't really underestimate the Japanese market. That is a fucking huge market. He has it, like, when you got a fighter like Inoue over there in Japan, he's a god. You know what I'm saying? We might not think that in the US, but that's still, to me, that don't have nothing to with putting you on a fucking pound for pound list. It shouldn't have no bearing how popular you are. Popularity should have no bearing on the pound for pound list. You feel what I'm saying? It shouldn't be. This ain't no fucking popularity contest. It shouldn't be, at least. Yeah, Usyk ain't done shit at heavyweight. And he finna get his ass beat by Anthony Joshua. Because Anthony Joshua gonna beat the shit out of Usyk. First of all, Usyk don't punch hard enough to make Anthony Joshua scared. Because, see, Anthony Joshua, he nervous to get in there with big punchers. Because he ain't got no chin like that. Usyk can't do nothing to Anthony Joshua. And after this Anthony Joshua shit, we not finna hear too much about Usyk no more. Because Anthony Joshua gonna beat the shit out of him. This shit crazy, man. Daryl Deloche said Ring Magazine should be out of business for putting other boxers ahead of Spence and Charlo. Like, that shit crazy, man. But like I said, I think my pound for pound, I would have Canelo number 1. I would have Errol Spence at number 2. I have let me see. I would have, Jermell Charlo at number 3. I have Terrence Crawford at number 4. And like I said, the only reason I would have Terrence Crawford number 4 is because of what he done lately. Then I would have probably Josh Taylor at number 5. Because Josh Taylor, man, he making noise, and you look at his resume and it can't be denied. That'll be my top 5. Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence, Jermell Charlo, then Terrence Crawford, and then Josh Taylor. Yeah, that's my number 5. That's my 5 pound for pound. FBG Boss 13 say Teofimo is going to do special things. He's a beast. Usyk shouldn't even be in the top 5, and Taylor should be swapped for Teofimo. And then I have Teofimo number 6 on my pound for pound list. So I got him right behind Taylor. The only reason I got Taylor above Teofimo Lopez is because, to me, Josh Taylor, he won the whole tournament, and his road to undisputed, like, first of all, he's undisputed, right? And then you got to look at his fucking resume, what he did to become undisputed. Teofimo Lopez is not, he'll notch below that. And then Teofimo Lopez ain't undisputed yet because he still got to beat Devin Haney. So yeah, Josh Taylor above Teofimo Lopez, no doubt. And then if Teofimo Lopez, he's talking about moving up to fight Josh Taylor. I don't see him beating Josh Taylor. Teofimo Lopez can't beat Josh Taylor. All the shit that he talk all that shit that he want. He say that Josh Taylor trying to duck him and all that. He not beating Josh Taylor. YouTube Boxing 607 says, just found out Jake Paul made the same amount of money as Anthony Joshua in the past year. What the fuck? Yeah, I believe it. I believe it, man. Jake Paul, he getting that bag. The motherfucker getting that bag. Massimo TV says he's not a real boxer, but he is one of the most popular young Americans. But Jake Paul can actually box, though. He not I mean, you can call him what you want to. He not no real boxer, not on the level of these guys that we talking about. But he can actually box. And he does take the sport serious. He trains hard. He actually spars real fighters. And, you know, like a lot of real fighters, Andre Berto talked about it. He said the motherfucker can fight. Like they said, the only thing is his defense is lacking. He needs to work on his defensive skills, but he can box. You know what I'm saying? He's not going out in there and knocking these dudes out. Like Ben Askren is a fucking UFC former champion that was a legit former champion that's got hit with fucking damn near bare knuckle gloves. And if he knock out Ben Askren like he did, Jake Paul can, he got power and he can box. You know what I'm saying? He can box. He takes it serious. He don't get in there playing around. Like he really get in there sparring. Now his brother, Logan Paul, wait, no, not Jake Paul. Wait, Jake Paul. Now Logan Paul, he can't box like that. Logan Paul, he ain't got hands like Jake Paul do. YouTube boxers say, I think Jake Paul and Tommy Fury would be a good example of a Paul brother fighting a real boxer, not Logan versus Floyd. Yeah, that's just for money. You know what I'm saying? Floyd gonna go where the bag is. You know what I'm saying? Floyd, like I can make millions and millions of dollars playing, and I could play around with Logan Paul for, you know what I'm saying, about 4 rounds and then get him up out of there whenever I want to. Easy money. Sheldon Holmes says, if Wilder wins, guarantee Eddie Hearn puts Dillian White in front of, if Wilder beats Tyson Fury, Eddie Hearn for sure is not going to fucking let him fight Joshua. Joshua and Eddie Hearn are going to stay as far away from Wilder as they can. If Wilder beat Tyson Fury, you think that they was ducking him before? Wilder come back and show that he a much better, that he's more focused, much better fighter than he even was beforehand. If you think that Anthony Joshua was ducking Wilder before, imagine what's going to happen once he beat Tyson Fury. Speak it, believe, speak it, receive it, believe it. Man, I'm telling you. Imagine what's going to happen once he whooped Tyson Fury. He never going to get that Joshua fight. We probably pretty much can say goodbye to Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder because it ain't going to happen. Mike Rhymes says, and Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs. Yeah, Porter did beat Usyk in the amateurs. I would like to see that fight on tape because I want to see how the fuck did a 5'7" Porter beat Usyk, a goddamn heavyweight. That's crazy. Unless Usyk was smaller back then and just fucking, you know what I'm saying, had a major growth spurt. I don't know. But yeah, Porter did. And Kenny and Sean Porter, they let you know every time the motherfucking topic come up. Yeah, we even beat Usyk in the amateur. They gonna let you know. I think Sean Porter, I think he beat Demetrius Andrade in the amateurs too. Mike Ron says Terrence Crawford haven't done anything in damn near 4 years. Yeah, he ain't. That's what I'm saying. That's why I have Terrence Crawford number 4 on my pound for pound list. Because you can't just hold that spot. You feel me? You can't just hold that spot and hold that spot. Just like when Andre Ward was taking them layoffs, right? When he was getting injured and he was taking them long layoffs. Andre Ward didn't hold his position on the pound for pound list. They took that shit from him. You know what I'm saying? He had to come back and beat fucking he had to come back and beat top light heavyweights and then fight goddamn the toughest light heavyweight in the division at that time, which was Sergey the Crusher Kovalev, to get his pound for pound spot back. So you can't just hold on to that fucking spot. forever, and you know what I'm saying, your competition ain't adding up. It's just his competition's not adding. That's the only thing with Bud. I'm not saying that he ain't, you know what I'm saying, number one, number two pound for pound, but his competition is not adding up. Massimo TV says Terrence Crawford tough. He done everything after he unified 140. Hopefully T.O. don't do the same thing. It says Terrence Crawford tough. He done everything after he unified 140. Hopefully Teofimo don't do the same thing. I ain't really getting what you're saying, but Smooth Groove Boxing said 80-20 looking real nice for Bud. Yeah, man, that's the thing, dog. If now that fight's not gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna make a video about why that fight ain't gonna happen, and it sucks for boxing fans, but it ain't gonna happen. YouTube boxer say he think Canelo take care of Plant easier than he beat Saunders and Smith. That's not gonna happen. I'm telling y'all right now, if you keep on talking about, see, everybody think that Caleb Plant is sweet. Y'all gonna be in, and remember I said this shit. Fucking screen record it, save it in your phone, do whatever you gotta do. Everybody thinking that fucking Caleb Plant is going to go in there and lay down the Canelo. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you right now, if Caleb Plant don't beat Canelo, he going to give Canelo the toughest fight that you've seen him in since fucking Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling y'all right now, mark my word. You thinking Caleb Plant is sweet. Keep on thinking Caleb Plant is sweet. Jack Ashford said Jermell Charlo has a better recent string of opponents than any other boxer in the world not named Canelo. He should be on there. Yeah, he definitely should be on there. Now, I'm not going to say that he have a better string of opponents than Errol Spence, because he don't. He don't have a better, because you can't tell me that. So Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia at the time was top 4 pound for pound. I think he was number 4 on the pound for pound list. Mikey Garcia was, right? Then he turned around and fought Sean Porter. We all know what Sean Porter is. Then he turned around and fought Danny Garcia. Come on now. Now Jermell Charlo fought Tony Harrison twice. Tony Harrison, hell of a fighter. Then he fought Jason Rosario, right? Jason Rosario, solid fighter, but that don't compare to Errol Spence's resume. So I'm gonna have to disagree with you with that, on that. And then, you know, like I said, Canelo, I'm gonna have to put Canelo number 1. Whether you like it or not, Canelo is number 1. But I'm telling you right now, you sleeping on Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant finna shock the world. He finna show y'all, because everybody think Caleb Plant is just some fucking Rudy Poot that's just gonna go in there and lay down. It ain't gonna happen, man. But enough about that bullshit ass pound for pound list. Man, let's talk about Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. I want to talk about this shit because Devin Haney got a big fight coming up this weekend. And Devin Haney, man, you know, he's been very vocal. Devin and Bill Haney been very vocal in the past. You know, they done ran down on Teofimo Lopez and let Teofimo and his dad, Pops, know that they want to fight, you know. And it looked like for a long time that Teofimo Lopez and his dad wasn't going to give Devin Haney a fight. They even came out and said Devin Haney hasn't done nothing. You know, what has he done to deserve a fight with my motherfucking son, Poppy? Poppy, Devin Haney hasn't done nothing to deserve a fight with my son, Poppy. You know what I'm saying? So they was showing that they weren't going to fight Devin Haney for a minute. Now Devin Haney got a big fight coming up against Linares, which I think that he going to go and dominate. And now Teofimo Lopez, he has a fight coming up, right, in June against Kambosos, right, to defend his, I think it's the IBF title he defended, right, his mandatory. So with that being said, Teofimo Lopez and his pops is coming out now, and they saying that they finna call Devin Haney bluff. They saying Devin Haney talking that shit like he want to fight us, but they saying that they don't believe that Devin Haney really want that smoke. They said what they gonna do after his next fight, is they're going to press Devin Haney and they're going to corner him and they're going to make Devin Haney fight them. This is what they're saying. They're saying that they're going to make Devin Haney fight them. They said, and if Devin Haney try to price himself out, try to ask too much money to try to swindle his way out of the fight, then they're going to make it go to purse bid. So they saying they're going to make it so Teofimo Lopez is saying that he's going to make it to where they make Devin Haney his mandatory, to where then it can go to purse bid, and there's no way for Devin Haney to price himself out or get out of the fight. This is what Teofimo Lopez is saying. He's saying that even if Devin Haney try to price himself out of the fight by asking for too much money to where they know that they're not going to get the fight done because it's too much money, well, he's going to go to the people, the WBC, and he's going to say, look, make Devin Haney my mandatory. And then once that happens, he's saying that he's going to basically make it so that Devin Haney's his mandatory and the fight got to go to purse bid, to where it ain't nowhere around that fight. They got to see each other next. Now, Bob Arum is also saying that that's a great fight, that he would like the Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez fight to happen also, right? So Teofimo is very vocal about this, about fighting Devin Haney all of a sudden. And me, I asked myself, what happened from before you were saying that Devin Haney hadn't done nothing, that you wasn't fighting Devin Haney, he could keep crying and all of that shit. So what happened since between now and that time? Now you trying to flip it around like, oh, he's going to try to run for me. I'm going to make sure that he don't run for me. I'm going to make sure that fucking if he tries to outprice himself, that I'm going to go to the WBC and make him my mandatory so he don't have no way of getting around the fight with me. And I'm like, God damn, this motherfucker's a real good salesman, because the last time I checked, I thought that Devin Haney was really running down on you, and you were the one that was saying that you weren't going to fight Devin Haney. So what happened? Because now he's fooling a lot of fans. And I asked myself, is Teofimo Lopez actually serious? Or is he doing this because he know that he has an upcoming fight, and Devin Haney got an upcoming fight, so he's doing this to get more eyes focused on him, right? Because a lot of fighters, they do things like that. They'll attach their name to the next biggest fighter, in their weight division, or another fighter that's big in their weight division, in order to get more eyes focused on them in their upcoming fight. Is that what he's doing? Is Teofimo Lopez saying all of this shit just to sell his next fight? Is he really, or is he dead serious? Does he really think that Devin and Bill Haney are going to try to price themselves out? Because I seen Devin and Bill Haney on another YouTube platform, and they was not Devin and Bill Haney. I've seen Bill Haney and Teofimo Lopez's father going at it on another platform, and they was talking cordial, they was talking business. And one thing that Teofimo Lopez father kept telling Bill Haney, he kept saying to Bill Haney, just make sure you don't price yourself out. Just make sure you don't price yourself out of the fight. And so when I was hearing them say that, like, that brought up a red flag to me, because I'm saying, I'm hearing Bill Haney trying to make a fight happen, right? A verbal agreement. They trying to make a verbal agreement, like, get Teofimo Lopez Sr. to say, yeah, we're going to fight you next. I see, Bill Haney pressing him. But I keep hearing Teofimo Lopez's father say, just make sure that you don't price yourself out. We're going to fight you. But why would you say that? I don't understand why he would. That's the first thing why he would say that, because we know in boxing, one way to swindle your way out of a fight, right, is to say, well, we tried to make a fight with them, but they tried to price themselves out of the fight. Now, I don't understand that. Why would you think that Bill Haney and Devin Haney would try to price themselves out of the fight? Well, one thing is, we know, are they padding? Are they trying to basically pad what Bob Arum is going to do? Because we know that Bob Arum, his MO is that he don't like to pay damn near fucking no money to make big fights happen, right? He don't like to pay no money to make big fights happen. So if Bob Arum tries to give Devin Haney $1 million for an undisputed fight with fucking Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez, and fucking Devin Haney is like, nah, fuck that, because I make more than $1 million fighting fucking Gamboa and Linares. And he says no, and then they come back and say, well, he tried to price himself out the fight. Right? Well, no, actually, he didn't try to price himself out the fight. You guys tried to lowball him out of a fight. So you got to really look at this shit for what's really going on. Why do they keep telling Devin Haney and Bill Haney, don't try to price yourself out the fight, right? Why? Why, to me, is because they already know if they got it, if it has to be through Top Rank, because we know that Teofimo Lopez is the A side. He has the 3 belts. He is and he got the franchise belt, if you want to count that, right? So we know, with that being said, we know who the A side is, right? So if Teofimo Lopez is the A side, that means that the business has to go through Top Rank. And we know that Bob Arum, he don't like to pay nobody. So they're already telling Devin Haney and Bill Haney, don't price yourself out of the fight. But y'all know good so damn well it's not going to be them pricing themselves out of the fight, because they want to fight you. They've been running down on you for a long time. You the ones that didn't want to fight them initially. All of a sudden now you want to fight them. I don't know what changed. All of a sudden now you're trying to flip it around and act like, oh, we want to fight them. We're going to make sure that they don't run, that they don't price themselves out of the fight. But you just gearing up for some shit that you know what's going to happen. You know Bob Arum is going to try to lowball them. And then you can run off with the excuse, well, we tried to make the fight happen with Devin Haney, but they priced themselves out of the fight. But the real reason is, no, your promoter wouldn't pay them. So don't come with no fucking $1 million offer, 1.5 million to make a fucking mega huge fight for undisputed, real undisputed, between Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. And then if Devin Haney turned that bullshit down because he's already making way more than that, say that they pricing themselves out the fight. Don't let these people fool you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these people fool you. Don't do that. Blue Blood Sports TV off in the building. What's good with it, Blue? What's happening with it, my brother Blue? Kwame East off in the building. Loyal to the game, boxing talk. What's happening with it, Kwame? Make sure that y'all go subscribe to my man Kwame, Loyal to the game, boxing talk. Get him over 1,000 subs. Show him some love. Let me see. Kwame say, nope, it's only, he says, nope, it's the only fight Aaron will give him after going to Triller. Bob want to have the belts taken from him. Nah, you can't really say that though, Kwame. You know why? You know why you can't say that? Because Bob don't want those belts taken from Teofimo Lopez. See, y'all got that shit twisted. Y'all don't understand that Teofimo Lopez is still under contract with Bob Arum for the next 3 years. So Bob Arum that's still his fighter. It wouldn't do Bob Arum no good to get those belts taken away from Teofimo Lopez and let Haney take the belts over to wherever the fuck he going. That's not going to do Bob Arum no good. Bob Arum wants Teofimo Lopez to have those belts. Now, if we talking about Teofimo Lopez losing the belts to somebody else in Bob Arum's stable, well, that's a different story. But it does Bob Arum no good for him to let Devin Haney walk away with those belts, right? When Devin Haney is not his fighter. Teofimo Lopez is his fighter for the next 3 years. Teofimo Lopez even came to the realization, like, yeah, I'm fighting on Triller my next fight because it was a purse bid, but from now on, I got to do business with Top Rank, whether I like it or not. And they've come to that realization, like, we can't get out of the Top Rank contract. We got to do business with Top Rank, and that's just what it is. So man, it Richard Harris say Aaron don't want to pay black fighters. I wouldn't say that he don't want to pay black fighters. I wouldn't go to say that. You know what I'm saying? To keep it 100, Aaron don't give a fuck if you black or purple. What Aaron give a fuck about is the money that's going in his bank account, the investment that he can make off of you. So it's not so much as that he don't want to pay black fighters. It's so much that Aaron don't want to pay fighters, period. Aaron is going to pay you the least amount of money that he can, that's legal. You feel me? Under the Ali Act, the least amount of money that he can pay you that he can. And he wants to be able to make the biggest profit that he can. That's why he has a vendetta against Terrence Crawford, because it's like it's business at the end of the day. He done business with Terrence Crawford, and the business with Terrence Crawford that he doing, he continues to lose money. So he feels some way about that. You feel me? So when people question him about why he's not getting these certain fights for Terrence Crawford, he gets pissed off and he explodes. That's when he starts telling you the motherfucker keeps losing me money. Like I keep trying to do business with, like, fuck him. That's just what it is, really. I mean, he don't say those exact words, but that's what it really is, you know, when you sum it up. He's frustrated because he like, man, I keep losing money on him. Real clean like pot. And y'all hit the like button. Everybody in the building, make sure that y'all hit the like button. It don't cost nothing to hit the like button. All we doing is chopping it up, talking boxing, show some love, and hit the like button. It shouldn't be no reason that everybody can't hit the like button. Real clean like podcast say they're gonna corner Haney if they have to go to a purse bid. They will. How do you figure that they gonna corner Haney? How are they cornering somebody that's been asking for the fight? That's right. See, they already done fooled a lot of fans. Now fans are going to run out and they're going to flip the story like Teofimo did, because Teofimo flipped the story. Now he's flipped the story and he's trying to make it look like that Devin Haney is the one that's ducking him, that they're running after Devin Haney for undisputed, but it's not that. Like boxing fans, they tend to have a short attention span or forget shit very easily. Because just a couple months ago, it was Devin Haney that was begging for the Teofimo Lopez fight. And it was Teofimo Lopez and his pops saying that they weren't going to fight Devin Haney, that Devin Haney didn't deserve a fight. You feel me? Knockout Boxing 86 TV says, Aram ain't paying Teofimo. It ain't about race. He just cheap as fuck. Yeah, that's what it is, Knockout. It ain't about race. He just cheap. It's about business. You know what I'm talking about? Big money, Texas, Toledo. He say, yeah, man, real talk. Yeah, man, a lot of shit in boxing is about race. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. A lot of racism go on in boxing. You know what I'm saying, with these promoters and everybody. But when it comes to Bob Arum, to me, it ain't about race. Bob Arum is just he about his money. The reason you see Bob Arum promote Mexican fighters or if he have a Puerto Rican fighter, the reason you see him promote those fighters more than certain black fighters is because Bob Arum is about his pockets. So Bob Arum, he looks at the market, right? And he like, okay, if I got a Mexican fighter that could fight, right? If I promote him more than I do this black fighter, he looking at the market. I can take this Mexican fighter to more different markets, right? Because he got a whole fucking country that's going to back him. If I make him look like the best thing in the world, well, this Mexican fighter has a whole country that's going to back him. Now, this black fighter might be better, but what market can I take him into? They don't, right? I can sell him in Atlanta, but they don't do fights in Atlanta, right? I could sell him in the Barclays, but shit, the top rank don't do fights in Barclays. So he looking at it like, okay, well, it's only certain markets I can bring him to, or I got a Puerto Rican fighter, right? Well, all the Puerto Rican fan base gonna get behind him, and the Hispanic fan base, period. So I can sell him. So it's about, you know what I'm saying, with Bob Arum, to me, it's more so about his pockets, you know what I'm saying? How much money, the marketability, you know what I'm saying? What venues he can sell out and all of that. He a businessman, you know, and he cheap as fuck. He's not going to go the extra length to try to sell you know, if he have a black fighter that can sell and the Mexican fighter that can sell, he ain't gonna go the extra length for the black fighter. But he gonna do more for the Mexican fighter because he's looking at the big picture. And we got to look at, right, when you say that, you can't say that Bob Arum is all about race, right? It's all about money because he know that fucking race, right? The Mexicans, look at what they did for Canelo. They did 75,000 people in that whole fucking arena was Mexicans, right? So Bob Arum looking at that shit. And he know that the Mexican fans, they going to get behind their fighter way more because boxing is big in Mexico also, right? And that's just what it is, man. That's what it is. It's not all about like, oh, he don't fuck with blacks and he don't fuck. Nah, it ain't about that. You know what I'm saying? Bob Arum, he been around black people his whole life. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand he came up with Ali in them. But the motherfucker, he crooked. He gonna try to, you know what I'm saying? He gonna try to get every dime up out of you and put every dime in his pocket. Batman said he gave Loma what he wanted and he ain't sell shit. Yeah, you got a point with that Loma shit, but I mean Loma white, you know what I'm saying? Loma had a whole country. We don't know what Loma sold, and we know what he did in the US, but you know what I'm saying? He got a whole motherfucking country behind him. And every white boxing fan is gonna gravitate towards Loma. You ain't gonna get no white boxing fan that's gonna, I mean, you know, that's majority. I'm not gonna say every, but the majority of white boxing fans, they're gonna gravitate towards Loma because of his skills that he got. And you ain't used to seeing that shit with a white fighter. But the thing is fucking y'all sleeping on Caleb Plant, and he a white fighter that got all of them skills and some. But hey, y'all like how Caleb Plant swag is, though, I guess. Richard Harris says, so what you saying is blacks wouldn't get behind Floyd? Well, that's a great point you brought up. I done been to Floyd Mayweather fights. Most of Floyd Mayweather fights be Mexican fans that was there to see him lose. I ain't never been to no Floyd Mayweather fight that it was a whole bunch of black, just flooded with black people in the crowd. Shit, that tell you a lot right there. Black people, and I'm gonna keep it 100. We do on here, you know what I'm saying? In our circle, we do, but most black fans, they ain't supporting they fucking fighters like that. Look when you go to a Deontay Wilder fight. Well, if they're supporting they black, look how they did Wilder. Let's keep it 100. If Deontay Wilder was Mexican, you think the Mexican fans would have did him like his black fans did him? Let's keep it 100. If Deontay Wilder was a fucking Mexican, right? If he was Mexican or Puerto Rican or white, do you think that his fan base would have turned on him like the black fan base did? No. So at the end of the day, you see why Bob Arum moved like he moved. Period. Ask yourself that, and you should know simple why Bob Arum moved like he moved. If you want support for these black fighters, you need to start taking them to markets like PBC did with the Barclays. You need to start doing like they do with Tank and taking them to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like they do with Errol Spence, taking them to fucking Dallas, certain markets like that. And Floyd, why Floyd was always fighting Mexican fighters? Because he knew where the money was at. Floyd was never, if Floyd got to a certain point, he wasn't even fighting black fighters at all. Was it right? No, because he wouldn't eat with his people. But Floyd, at the end of the day, he's like, fuck it. My people ain't gonna fucking, if I fall off, my people not gonna back me. You dig what I'm saying? If I fall off, my people not gonna back me. So fuck that. I'm gonna go, I'm doing what I gotta do for my career. So I'm gonna get all the money I can fighting Mexican fighters because I know that they're gonna pay to see me lose. Black fans are not gonna fucking pay. They ain't finna come and fill up no arena for me. And that's just real. They don't do it for Wilder. If anybody that you would go fill up an arena for, you would see fucking a whole arena full of black fans when Wilder fight, but you don't see that shit. You see a whole arena full of white people cheering against Wilder. That's just what it is. Straight up. You can't tell me no difference because I be at these fights. Cornelius Rutherford says, watch the Davis fight that is coming up in Atlanta and watch all of... Man, I just said that though, dog. Y'all got to listen to what I said. I said it twice already. I said, you got to put them in a certain market, right? Like Atlanta, the Barclays, Dallas. You got to start taking these fighters to that market. But you got to understand that Top Rank, they don't have venues in that market. They don't put venue. They don't fight out of those markets. Top Rank fight on different markets. They fight on markets on the West Coast, right? They fight markets like fucking Oklahoma and shit like that. They don't. They got if they fight in New York instead of the Barclays, they go to Madison Square Garden. So they have a whole different market that Top Rank promotes and fights at. They haven't tapped into the black fan market. That's why I'm telling you. If they really want to start, if Bob Arum really want to start putting the black fighters that he got, like Shakur Stevenson and you know what, whoever he got, you know what I'm saying, and start promoting them, he got to tap into those certain markets like that. But he ain't started tapping into those markets yet. He said Tank will fill any market. Well, he's becoming that star that he could fill any market, but he ain't there yet. You feel me? He's becoming that, but he's not there yet. That's why they chose instead of taking Tank to Cali, they chose to take him to Atlanta where they know he can sell out. You feel me? He's not there yet. Tank will become that star when he fights another star. When Tank fight another star that people look at and recognize, okay, this is the best fighter, Tank is going to blow up. He going to blow up. But he almost there. You know what I'm saying? Tank is going to... Now, when you say any market, you got to think Tank, he can sell out most markets. But when you say any market, can Tank go to Madison Square Garden and sell it out? I don't know. Can he go to Barclays and sell it out? Yeah. Tank can sell out Barclays because even though it's New York, it's still a different demographic that go to Barclays to watch fights than that goes to fucking Madison Square Garden. You can just look and tell. Can Tank Davis sell out StubHub? You know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But he getting there, dog. Tank Davis is he becoming that mega star, but to just bust it, just to fucking kick the door wide open, he need a mega fight. He need a mega fight, dog. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for but you know, boxing, they need to tap into the Atlanta market because that's where the black fans will come out and, you know, show all the support. And Dallas. And Dallas is a fucking minority market. You're gonna get black and Mexican fans that's gonna show out in Dallas. That's what they noticing, and that's why they starting to put more fights in Dallas. And I think Dallas is becoming a big boxing city real fast. And Spence, you know what I'm saying? Spence showed and Spence kicked down the door for that. Richard Harris say Tank, Spence, Crawford, Shakur, Ennis, all any market. Tank can go any place in the world. Ennis is not that star yet. Crawford can't go to any market. Shakur can't go to any market. The only stars right there that you can argue, right? Richard Harris, the only stars that you name that you can argue that can sell out any market right now is Tank and Errol Spence. The rest of them dudes are not on that level yet. Native Black Faculty Conversation. What's going on with you, man? I appreciate you. Salute to you. Native Black Faculty Conversations. Yeah. Cornelius Rutherford says, can you tell us all the places these Mexican fighters are selling out? California, anywhere on the West Coast. You feel me? They're gonna take them to the market where they can sell out. They're gonna take them to certain markets, just like they've taken other fighters to certain markets. If you don't see by now that the Mexican fans are gonna stand behind, if they got a fighter, right, top rank, whoever the fuck it is, whoever promoter they with, if a Mexican fighter is being promoted, right, and they being known, they fans are gonna fucking get behind them 150%. And that's just what it is. You feel me? Like I said, at the end of the day, black fans, not all of them, I'm saying overall, black fans do not support their fighters and pay to see their fighters like Mexican fans do. And that's just what it is. Like I said, when you go to a Deontay Wilder fight, if it's anybody that black fans should have stood behind, it's Deontay Wilder, hands down, because he the only one that spoke out for his people. He put his fucking neck on the line when none of these other black athletes wanted to put their neck on the line. They put a mic in front of Tank Davis' face. He didn't want to speak on the issues. They put a mic in front of Jermell Charlo's face. He didn't want to speak on the issues. And these are facts. Deontay Wilder stuck his neck out there when nobody else wanted to do it. Errol Spence actually did it too, and Clarissa Shields did it. But other than that, none of these other mainstream fighters, they didn't want to speak on the issues. Deontay Wilder put his neck out there, and he continued to speak on issues, right? He continued to speak on the issues, right? And he didn't shy away from it. He had a fucking mega fight in Las Vegas, his biggest fight of his career, the Tyson Fury Wilder 2, right? And he had on the wall coming down the hallway, he had all influential black figures, right? Coming down the hallway. He had all of their pictures. They didn't like that shit, right? But instead of his black fans sticking behind him, uplifting him, what did they do? They turned on him. They made videos. They laughed. They made fucking memes. They talked bad about the man. And this is some real shit. Instead of showing up to his fights, did they show up to his fights? Nah. It was a fucking whole crowd of white people that showed up for Tyson Fury. So when you talk about why these promoters moving like that and why this and that, look at that situation and that tell you everything you need to know. Period. So that is what it is. So you can think what you want, but the shit is real talk. You know what I'm saying? It's real facts. And then you go and look at Canelo Alvarez, and you see him just have 75,000 people in a fucking stadium, and probably 98% of them was Mexican. You probably could count the amount of people in that stadium that wasn't Mexican. So at the end of the day, that tells you all you need to know. And I'm not talking about individually. So if you support Wilder, if I support Wilder, that's different. I'm not speaking to you or me. I'm speaking as the black culture overall in general. Because I know a whole lot of niggas that I got into it with because they were laughing and talking shit about Wilder when they should have been supporting him. That was making memes and fucking posting videos about it. Don't act like y'all don't see that shit. You feel me? Don't act like you don't see that shit. So that's just what it is. Arthur Soto says Canelo is a hero to us. It ain't nothing wrong with that. See, that's and by your name, I'm thinking that you're a Mexican fan, right? And that is lovely that you look at Canelo and you like he's a hero to us. right? He came from the fucking mud. He rose up. He's a hero to us, right? But you see what I'm saying? Why is it wrong if we say that about Wilder or one of our fighters? It's wrong, right? But then that's what I'm saying. It's fucked up. You see what I'm saying? We should have been all of the black people should have been fucking standing behind Wilder, right? Standing behind Wilder and praising him for what he's done. They ain't do that shit. He rose from the mud like Canelo did. He came up from nothing and went to the amateurs. All of that. But he's not gonna get the same love from his people that Canelo will from his people. So that's just what it is. When Canelo got his ass beat up by fucking Floyd Mayweather, his people ain't turn on him. You feel me? His people didn't turn on him. They stuck with him. They made a million excuses for him. So it is what it is. That's why Canelo was able to continue to get better, continue to go on and do great things in his career. And that's why he's number one pound for pound right now. Let me see what y'all talking about. Real Clean Like Podcast says it's not wrong, but y'all need to get your shit together. Wilder's biggest haters are his own kind. It's wild. Hey, you right. A lot of his biggest haters is his own people. I see that shit every day. Because you know what? I don't focus on the white people and the other race that hate on Wilder. I'm focusing on the black people that hate on Wilder. Because I'm looking at them motherfuckers real funny. And some of y'all in here, I'm looking at y'all real funny in the face. For real. You had house niggas that was real. I mean, you had house niggas and you had the real niggas that was field. You had the field. You had the house ones and you had the field ones. The house ones was always hating on the field ones and telling because they wanted to be up under the white man. That's how I look at y'all. Y'all some bunch of house niggas. You feel me? That's just what it is, man. So you could like it, you could love it, or you could hate it. I'm gonna tell it how it is. You know. That's all I'm gonna do, man. Real Clean Like Podcast says it's fucked up. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Yeah, man. Real talk. And I'm gonna always keep it a buck. That's all I know how to do. Motherfuckers don't like me because I don't hold my tongue back. I'm gonna keep it a buck, you know. And when it comes to boxing, I don't care if you white, black, brown, purple, or fucking yellow. If you can fight, you can fight. If I fuck with you, I fuck with you. I don't look at no fighter for what skin color they got and say if I fuck with you or not. But we as black people, we need to stick. We need to get behind like fighters that speak out and stick up for their race. We need to get behind them fighters. We need to get behind Clarissa Shields, Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder. We need to get behind these fighters. And like I said, we've had other fighters that microphones have been put in their face, and they've been asked about the injustice going on. And they chose to coon their way out of the situation. And I see all of that shit too. You feel me? But like I said, man, we gotta stop as black people. We gotta stop crying about, oh, well, the Mexicans this and they support and they do because the Mexican fans gonna get behind their fighters. We need to fucking look at what they doing and do what the fuck they doing and get behind our fighters before you start crying about the shit. You dig? It is what it is, you know. And don't get me wrong, I got Mexican fans, and I'm gonna keep it 100. I think some of the Mexican fans is the most racist fans there is. Every time I post a video, right? If I post a video about Canelo, and I'm actually talking good about Canelo, they gonna come and look at the title, and they gonna get in the fucking comments. Oh, you fucking blacks don't know shit. You blacks, oh, you niggers, and Mexican fans be doing that shit all the time. But that don't make me change how I feel about another Mexican fighter. If I like them, I like them. That don't make me change shit. I let them talk. You know what I'm saying? Because all that shit is fucking talk. SS Chicago, you right. Most black people do support Tank though. But like I said, why ain't all supporting Wilder? The one that put his head out there on the fucking line. The one that got out on the front line for his people. That's what I don't understand. That's what fucking really baffles me. Yeah, man. Real Clean Like podcast, man. I get that shit all the time. I don't even respond. I don't respond to none of that shit, but I get it all the time. Richard Harris said his wife is black. Oh, yeah, man. Like I said, man, we all been through the same fucking struggles. You dig what I'm saying? So we all been at the same struggle. So, man, it get deep. I ain't gonna get too deep in it, but you know, it is what it is, man. Native Black Faculty Conversation says, actually, Deontay Wilder is still undefeated in my book because Jack Reese gave Tyson Fury a long count. Tyson Fury was out cold in the first fight. Man, I was at that fight ringside, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not going to say that Jack Reese counted long. But what I will say is that Deontay Wilder won that fight. I'm not going to say that he counted long because it's like, if you count, like, it's too close. You know what I'm saying? Some people could put up a stopwatch and then stop on 10, but you got to understand you're a human. So now you got to, it's hard. It's hard to put that on Jack Reese and say that he counted his count was long. You know what I'm saying? I can't say all of that. I mean, I respect your opinion, and I'm not saying I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. But all I'm saying is I'm not going to put that on him because that's a human counting. But one thing I can say is that if you go back and watch that fight, Deontay Wilder won the first 3 or 4 rounds of that fight hands down. And it's funny because I had a guy from the UK, right? This is last year. I had a guy from the UK. He used to come on here all the time. And every time we would talk about the Wilder Fury first fight, this after the first fight, we would go back and forth. So I said to him, look, man, and I kept trying to tell him that Deontay Wilder won the first 3 or 4 rounds in that fight. And he was like, no fucking way. So what I did, and I respect him for this, I said, look, man, let's do a live stream, and we're going to watch the fight at the same time. And then we're going to call the fight. We're going to watch the fight. And because a lot of motherfuckers, they just go off of what the commentators say, or they go off what everybody else say, and they run with that shit. I said, we're going to turn the volume down. We're going to watch the fight at the same time live with everybody watching on my channel. And we're going to call the fight blow by blow. I said, I want you to call the fight with me blow by blow. And then after every round, right? We just did the first 4 rounds. I said, after every round, after calling the fight, right? You got to tell me where Tyson Fury did to win that round. So we just did the first 4 rounds. We did it. We watched it. And he was like, dog, he was like, man, this a guy from the UK. I'm talking about huge Tyson Fury fan. You can't tell him shit about Tyson Fury. He was like, you know what? He was like, man, I apologize. He was like, I apologize for coming on your show, talking shit all the time. He was like, because Wilder did win those rounds. He was like, now that I called it with you and really sat down and watched it, he was like, Wilder won those rounds. And so Fury won, right? Fury won more rounds overall than Wilder did, but Wilder won the first 3 or 4 rounds, and then he had those 2 knockdowns. So ain't no way Fury could have won that fucking fight. That was my whole thing. You dig what I'm saying? That was my whole thing. SS Chicago said, we don't go to fights he said, we've been going to fight since the 80s. R.R. Jones says, how can you not support Wilder? He a rare breed. He stand on something. Let me see. Richard Harris says, is your wife black? I ain't got no wife. If you talking to me. Slick T says, that shit fucked up. Wilder go hard for his people and niggas turn around and shit on him after the last fight. He never see the UK you never see the UK motherfuckers do that, or Latinos. That's a fact. Come for a boxing. What's happening with it, homie? He said, I'm Mexican and I love the sport of boxing. It don't matter what color you are. If you boxing, he says, if you boxing, you're good with me. That's real. That's how it should be, though. That's how it should be, you know. Pull counter say Jack said he gave Fury extra time. No, I seen Jack Reese do plenty of interviews, and I ain't never seen him say that. But like I said, at the end of the day, Fury lost that first fight anyway. How you lose the first? Let's not even say 4. How you lose the first 3 rounds, right? And then you get knocked down twice, and you still go on to win the fight? How? I don't understand that. How did that shit happen? Where did they do that at? Because you got 1, 2, 3, 4. So with the knockdowns alone, that's 4 points right there. And then you won 3 rounds already. Yeah, Arthur Soto say Andre Ward ain't to be taken lightly. Him versus Canelo is a major man, that's a major fight. It's a major fight. Are you talking to me? Talking about you telling me to keep it a buck? Nigga, I always keep it a buck. What you talking about? I'm always keeping it a buck. You must have just started watching me. I always keep it a buck. And in boxing, it is always about race. Because when you step in the ring, if you don't know 2 fighters and you got a black fighter in the ring and a white fighter, you know what I'm saying? 9 out of 10, if you black, you finna go for the black fighter. If you white, you finna go with the white fighter. But I said, to me, right? I'm not looking at you to see, okay, if I fuck with you, I fuck with you. I'm not looking at you like, oh, well, he a Mexican fighter. He got a gang of fucking skills, but I don't fuck with him because he a Mexican fighter. Or he a white fighter. He got a whole bunch of fucking skills. I don't fuck with him because he a white fighter. That's what I'm saying. So that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at no fighter based on what his color is, if I fuck with him or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of my favorite motherfuckers was mad because I fuck with Vasyl Lomachenko heavy. I bet a lot of money that Vasyl Lomachenko was going to beat Teofimo Lopez. But Teofimo proved me wrong. Motherfuckers didn't like that. I fuck with Caleb Plant real heavy. Like, I fuck with Caleb Plant real heavy. You know what I'm saying? Ain't neither one of them black. But my favorite all-time fighters, they all black. But that don't mean that I'm going to look at you and be like, okay, I'm going to fuck with. Nah, I don't do that. If you can fight, you can fight. I never, and see, my one thing I can't say is I hated Chavez. I ain't going to lie to y'all. I couldn't fucking stand Chavez. And the reason I couldn't stand Julio Cesar Chavez when I was growing up, I could not stand him. And like Hector Macho Camacho was my guy. Like Hector Macho, you couldn't tell me shit about Hector Macho Camacho. I fucked with Hector Macho Camacho heavy. I could not stand Julio Cesar Chavez. And the reason I didn't like Julio Cesar Chavez is because, for one, when he fought Meldrick Taylor, I didn't like that situation that went down with Meldrick Taylor. I hated that shit. For 2, when he fought Frankie Randall, right? My whole thing with Chavez is Chavez would fucking lose fights. Like, he lost to Pernell Whitaker. He lost to Frankie Randall twice, right? They only gave Frankie Randall one win against him, but Frankie Randall beat him twice, right? Pernell Whitaker beat the shit out of him. I didn't like him because he always got gift decisions. And then when he would lose a fight, he would never give the opponent credit for beating him. He always made an excuse like he should have won the fight. And it's like, bro, you fucking lost every round. Like, I hated Chavez. That's why I didn't like Chavez growing up. Oh, yeah, Chavez, that motherfucker could fight. Hell yeah, he could fight. Everybody know he could fight. But everybody know that fucking, everybody know that it's fights that he got gifted to him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know that. Young Murder come in. He used to make hella excuses, dog, and he would never just say, "Look, man, yeah, I actually lost the fight, or I lost the." He would make every excuses. He would never tell you that he really lost. Yeah, and Frankie Randall was beating him, but they was giving him. See, it shocked me when they gave Frankie Randall that first decision over Chavez, because I knew Frankie Randall had beat the shit out of him, but I was like, man, ain't no way they gonna give. Man, I damn near jumped up out of my fucking ceiling when they gave Frankie Randall that decision, because we weren't used to seeing that with Chavez. Young Murder Cut Man said he used to hide behind his interpreter. Yeah, I just didn't like Rand. I didn't like Chavez as a person. He could fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't no fucking punk. The motherfucker could fight. Don't get me wrong, but I couldn't stand him. Real Clean Like Podcast says, he said, oh, Hector was your guy. That's why. Yeah, I fucked with Hector. Camacho was my dude. Big Money Texas Toledo says, I'm Mexican and I can't stand Chavez too. He overhyped. He says, in my opinion, 70 plus fights and never unified, and is biased towards generation of boxers. Yeah, man. And like I said, he could fight, but a lot of that shit on his resume was straight motherfucking cooks out of fucking Denny's. But he beat a lot of dudes too. You know what I'm saying? He beat the Black Mamba. I was mad when he beat the Black Mamba, man. I was a big fan of Roger Mayweather, and you know, when Chavez beat him, when Chavez beat Hector Camacho, I was fucking mad. So he beat a lot of fighters that I liked, but he did lose certain fights where he got gift decisions. Oh yeah, in that Taylor fight, yeah, that was one of the worst decisions ever. World Combat. Salute to my man, World Combat Sports, man. World Combat, and make sure that y'all, first of all, y'all hit my like button. Make sure that y'all hit my like button, and then make sure that y'all go subscribe to World Combat Sports. If you want the hottest news coverage, World Combat Sports is covering all these events, right? All these fights that we got coming up. He in the midst of them. He gonna be giving you the hottest interviews. Go to World Combat Sports and subscribe to him. But yeah, man, Chavez, I hated Chavez, dog. And when his son started boxing, I hated his motherfucking son just because I didn't like him. And I always thought his son was overhyped. I'm like, man, this motherfucker ain't shit. And he turned out not to be shit. But his Chavez don't even like his own son. Chavez don't like his own son. He like, this motherfucker's trash. Yeah, Meldrick Taylor. Yeah, Meldrick Taylor and Julio Cesar Chavez fight was the fucking worst decision ever in boxing. How can you stop a fight when the man is on his feet telling you, I'm good, I'm okay. He's on his feet telling you that fucking he's good, he's okay. And you stop the fight with 4 seconds left. By the time he would have restarted the fight was over. Chavez couldn't even walk from one side of the ring in 3 seconds to hit Taylor again. The fight was already over. So why would you stop a fight? Because Chavez was that dude. He was undefeated, and you didn't want to fuck up his undefeated record. Richard Steele is a bitch. I don't like Richard Steele to this day. Pernell, hell yeah. Pernell Whitaker took him to school, dog. Beat the shit out. I rewatched that fight. Let me see. Recently, about a year ago, I rewatched that fight, and I had Chavez only winning 1 round in that fight. Chavez won 1 round in that whole fight. Yeah, Don King was behind that shit too. And you know what? But Meldrick Taylor was never the same after that fight. One thing I do gotta say is Chavez. We can say what we want about that first Meldrick Taylor fight. He lost that fight hands down. But after that, Chavez put you know what I'm saying? He put damage on Meldrick Taylor that Meldrick Taylor never was the same after that. And Chavez did go on to beat Meldrick Taylor, I think, twice after that. He showed that, you know, hey, he was a better fighter. But Meldrick Taylor was never the same after that. He Real Clean Like Podcast says he's not saying he wasn't good. He just don't like. No, I'm not telling you that Chavez wasn't good. Chavez is one of the best fighters to ever lace up the glove. Real talk. Is he better than Pernell Whitaker? No. Was he better than Frankie Randall at prime for prime? No. But like I said, he still was one of the best fighters to ever lace up the glove. I just didn't like him. But yeah, man, Taylor was never the same after that. Never the same. And Meldrick Taylor was, after that, he was shot. And now it's sad to see Meldrick Taylor now because those Chavez fights and certain wars that he's been in, Meldrick Taylor can't even talk. It's sad. Meldrick Taylor is, he can't even talk. He's fucked up. Meldrick Taylor's fucked up. And you know what? What's really fucked up about it is we talk shit about Floyd, how he, ran his career in the latter part of his career. But look at Meldrick Taylor. Meldrick Taylor is fucked up, and he don't have nothing to show for it. You see what I'm saying? He don't have nothing to show for it. Meldrick Taylor is an Olympic great. The first fighter to ever beat Chavez, really. Been through wars, gave us great fights, and don't have nothing to show for in his career. It's sad. It's fucked up. And I remember watching that fight, man. I remember watching the Chavez and Meldrick Taylor fight with my pops back in the day, when it happened. It's crazy. I remember everybody was just, man, it was chaos in the house because everybody was pissed. Everybody wanted to see Chavez lose because Chavez just rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. He did. Richard Harris says Chavez have more balls than Canelo. I wouldn't say all of that. I don't know. We'll see. Canelo is still young. He still got a lot to do in his career. Canelo said he still want to fight for 7 years, so we got to see what he does. But I'm gonna tell you like this: the skill set and everything, Canelo a better fighter than Chavez ever was. Canelo a better fighter than Chavez ever was. Oh yeah, come forward boxing. James Toney been showing it for a long time. James Toney, and it's crazy that James Toney been showing, that he ain't right in the head. His slurred speech and all of that. He's been showing it for a long time, but he's still trying to fight. It's crazy. SS Chicago said he used to go to Pernell Whitaker fights in the Scope in Norfolk. Pernell Whitaker was my guy. That was and my pops, you couldn't tell my pops shit about Pernell Whitaker. Like, you couldn't tell him shit about Pernell Whitaker. Pernell Whitaker was my dude. That was my guy. Sweet Pea? Wasn't nobody fucking with Sweet Pea. You know what I'm saying? Sweet Pea was my dude. That motherfucker was bad. And he made Chavez look like an amateur. Sweet Pea made Chavez look like an amateur. And he didn't run from him. Pernell Whitaker would stay right in the pocket, right in front of your motherfucking face, and you couldn't hit him. He'll go all the way down to the ground, come back up. Chavez had no answer for Pernell Whitaker. And he actually walked Chavez down. Pernell Whitaker stayed right in his face and walked him down and made him look like an amateur. That's how good, and that just show you how good Pernell Whitaker is. Come forward, box and say, Brandon Rios' head was damaged too. I don't know, man. I gotta go look and see what Brandon Rios, man. I think Brandon Rios just talk like that, just like Tank Davis. A lot of people think that Tank Davis he just talk like that. He always talked like that ever since he was little. Leon Robinson is true. He been running for 7 years from fighters with speed, movement, athleticism, durability, and stamina from 24 to 31. Not finna shit on Canelo like that, man. Canelo doing big things, man. Canelo can fight his ass off. Like I said, can't none of them dudes right now beat Canelo. Jamal Charlo can't beat him. Demetrius Andrade can't beat him. Your boy, goddamn, Benavidez can't beat him. I think that Caleb Plant got the best. I think that I look at these fights, right? And me and Money, right? Because a lot of people think that Jamal Charlo is Canelo's toughest task. I said, me and Money Brown, I had him rewatch the fight with Jamal Charlo and Derbianchenko with me. And after that, he was like, yeah, you were right. Jamal Charlo got holes in his game. And the way that Jamal Charlo fights, I'm letting y'all know, right? Because I'm a bigger Jamal Charlo fan than I am a Canelo Alvarez fan. But see, the one thing about me, when I talk about boxing, it doesn't matter if I'm a huge fan of you or not, because if I'm betting on the fight, right, I got to fucking clear my mind and bet with the fighter that has the best skill set, not just because I like you. So when I watch Jamal Charlo, I notice holes that he has in his game, and the way that Jamal Charlo fights is a lot of the way that Jamal Charlo fight, right? He don't move enough. He stands right in the pocket with you. He uses his jab, but he don't use his jab enough consistently to where he sticks. See, you need to be able to fucking have great footwork to confuse Canelo. You can't stand in the pocket. And Jamal Charlo, his game is to stand in the pocket. He fights on the outside sometimes, but he likes to stand in the pocket and bang with you because he's more powerful than all these guys. He can't beat Canelo like that. Jamal Charlo's style is more tailor-made for Canelo, right? Benavidez gets hit way too fucking much. And he's really slow. He got real slow feet. He punch a lot, but what's going to happen when he gets hit by somebody like Canelo that can fucking hit real hard to the body, hit real hard to the head, that's fucking elusive. Well, you know what I'm saying? Canelo got great upper body movement and you throwing a million punches, but you're not landing all that shit. What's going to happen then, right? When you talk about Demetrius Andrade probably could have beat Canelo when they was at 154. I would say that Demetrius Andrade, if he had got a Canelo fight back when he was at 154, he would have beat Canelo then. Canelo's got too good. He's got a lot better. And Demetrius Andrade, he hasn't gotten no better. And, you know, some could say that he's not as good as he was back then. Demetrius Andrade, he slowed down some. You could see it in his last few fights. He can't beat Canelo. I'm telling y'all. The man that has the best chance of beating Canelo out of all them dudes, and y'all probably going to disagree with me, is Caleb Plant. Because y'all say, oh, well, Caleb Plant don't got no power. He got enough power to fucking keep you. He got enough power to fucking let you know. You know what I'm saying? You just can't come up in here with anything, right? Plus, Caleb Plant got great footwork. He's athletic. He got great hand speed. He could fight off the jab. He can fight inside. He can fight on the outside, right? The only thing with Caleb Plant is he needs to tighten up his defense, because a lot of them shots that Caleb Plant take, he can't take the same type of shots versus Canelo. So that's going to be the thing that you need to look for when Caleb Plant and Canelo fight. Can Caleb Plant come in there, and has he worked on his defense enough to where he could be elusive enough to make Canelo miss and make Canelo pay? And can Caleb Plant stick to a game plan to confuse Canelo for 12 rounds? That's it. But he has the skills to beat Canelo. I'm trying to tell y'all this. Benavidez ain't KOing no Canelo. That's not gonna happen. Y'all can keep thinking that shit. J.A. Dixon says, I got money on Charlo. Canelo is gonna have to fight. It's going to have to fight Canelo. It's gonna match on Plant because you said you got all. If you think you got money on Charlo beating Canelo, well, you might as well just get that money away to charity. It's not gonna happen. Like I said, I studied fighters. Charlo cannot beat Canelo, and I fuck with Charlo big time, but he can't beat Canelo. I'm telling you, don't go in there. If Charlo and Canelo fight, I'm trying to tell y'all, don't go with Jamal Charlo just because you like him and you going with your heart. Don't do that because if you betting on it, you're gonna lose your money. Dre Finest, appreciate you, man. Salute to you. Berlanga will not do nothing. Berlanga ain't even know. Berlanga's not even nowhere near that level. Lit Man say Canelo comes forward because he doesn't respect power from his recent fights. Charlo harder than anyone Canelo fight. Charlo made Derevyanchenko look and beat him convincingly. Yeah, he did beat Derevyanchenko convincingly. But what you need to do, like I had Money Brown do, like I had my man Money do, go back and watch that fight with Derevyanchenko and Jamal Charlo. Derevyanchenko, during the later rounds, Derevyanchenko was hitting Jamal Charlo with some shit. And if that was Canelo, it would have been a different story. I'm telling you, he can't. I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all can argue with me all you want. Jamal Charlo cannot beat Canelo. As much as I would love to see Jamal Charlo beat Canelo, he can't do it. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah, but see why Canelo is studying Plant like a book. Plant is doing the same thing. I can't wait for this fight to happen because y'all gonna see that Plant is a lot better than y'all think he is. But man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Y'all hit my like button. Y'all make sure that y'all hit the like button. We've been on here for over 2 hours. Get ready to wrap that up, man. J.A. Dixon says, I don't see Canelo as this unbeatable, unhittable magician, feint and jab, and a person coming at him with power, size, and chin hard, but we won't see because Canelo gonna avoid. All right. I mean, you could, I mean, like I said, you entitled to your opinion, but I'm trying to tell you, man. But yeah, man, why is everybody saying Caleb Plant? It looked average with Caleb Truex. Caleb Plant won every round against Caleb Truex. I don't understand that shit because, right, the same people that tell you, well, Caleb didn't knock out Caleb Truex and this, and that, right? But a commentary that fucking Devin Haney looked great because he won every round against Gamboa. Come on, man. Caleb Plant, he beat Caleb Truex every fucking round. He hurt his hand early in the fucking fight. I think he said he hurt his hand in the 3rd or 4th round, but he still beat him every round. Derevyanchenko did beat the shit out of Triple G. That he did. He did beat Triple G. But Canelo beat the shit out of Triple G the second fight convincingly, more convincingly than anybody ever has, and beat him at his own game. Harry Rose said, if Lara beat Canelo, why can't Charlo beat Canelo? That's not bro. That's not even like you asked that question, but Jamal Charlo and Lara are not even the fucking remotely the same type of fighter. That's, you know what I'm saying? They're not even the same type of fighter. And then secondly, Canelo has gotten a lot better and a lot more experience since he fought Lara. He was like 23 years old when he fought Lara. Like, that's not even, like, that ain't even, I don't even understand that question. Like, how can you compare Izzy Lara with Jamal Charlo? Their styles are two total different styles. I just explained to you why Canelo will not beat Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo's style is tailor-made for Canelo. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody that came in here showing love. Once again, hit that like button. Y'all already know how I do. Back on tomorrow, same time. Make sure that y'all catch it tomorrow, 12:30, right? That's 12:30 on the West Coast, right? So that's 12:30 on the West Coast. That's 1:30 Central Time, and that's no, my bad. That's 12:30 on the West Coast, 2:30 Central Time, and 3:30 on the East Coast. Tomorrow, back. Make sure y'all join me tomorrow, and I'm out. I appreciate everybody coming in here showing love. We out.